I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. About 4 years ago, I talked about micro condos coming to Vancouver. So a micro condo would be something around 175 square feet on the small side, up to about 275, 300 square feet. So these are very small, compact little condos. And I had told you about Reliance at the corner of Davie and Hornby. The actual address was 902 Davie Street. You can Google the renderings on this. They were going to launch a micro condo building there. It's where the 7-Eleven is standing now. And I was excited about it. I said it's about time that we started building, some larger scale, brand new, high-end micro condos, and that these were going to be incredibly successful. They will sell this building out, this strat out, in a matter of days, probably opening weekend. But shortly thereafter, unfortunately, the city of Vancouver did not approve this micro condo building by Reliance. And why, I have no idea. This is something that the city of Vancouver, they are so inept here, and our useless mayor we've got here and everybody else, they speak with forked tongue. They're always talking about we got to help affordability. We need to get young people into home ownership. We need to create more rentals and all this other stuff. And then they turn down one of the best ideas that's come along in a long time, which is small micro condos that are going to be priced, at $250,000, $275,000, $285,000. Most didn't have parking. If you want a parking spot, it's going to be $320,000. But this was an incredible opportunity that, again, we missed and whiffed on. Now, you can Google some of this micro condos in Vancouver. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen these condos. I'm pretty up on some of these. I have toured some of these in New York City. I've also seen them in downtown Los Angeles. I've read many articles over the years in Wall Street Journal, in the New York Times, about these micro condos. London has them. Toronto even has some that they've been building. And they're incredible. They sure, 250 square feet sounds awfully small, and it is. But when you look at these units, there is no wasted space. The finishings are beautiful. Nice tile, nice fixtures, the appliances, everything's kind of shrunken. Usually they have a Murphy bed that comes down, but when it's folded up, it turns into a kitchen table. Of course, the furniture that goes in there is called all undersized, but it's built to fit in. A lot of times it's a little bit over height ceiling, so they'll build in some storage space above. They're nice little units, and I had commented back 4 years ago that if I was a single guy, you're not going to be living in these, with a family or anything, or even with a husband and wife. These are made for a single man or woman. Maybe you can get two people in there. Some of the stories I read, there were couples living in these. But the reviews on these micro units are over the top. People absolutely love them. They'll say that, there's no wasted space. Sure, they're small, but they're incredibly efficient and sleek. If you look up the building that Reliance wanted to do at 902 Davie Street, have a look at the renderings on that building. It was a beautiful looking building, sleek. The units were fantastic looking inside. They were going to range between 175 and 275 square feet. They had a small little balcony on them, many of them, or a Juliet balcony on some. So you had a little bit of outdoor space. These were going to be priced around $250K. Actually, I think somewhere between $199,000 and $250,000. Now, the city of Vancouver, for a myriad of reasons, you can Google some of this stuff. I picked up a few articles here. They were talking about, the critics say that there's not enough space for storage. And there's a toll on, because they're so small, there's a toll on physical and mental health being in such a small space. Well, that's up for debate. I mean, how are you telling someone what's too small? If someone thinks that 275 square feet in a really modern, sleek little unit with no wasted space is too small, then fine, they won't buy it. But the reviews on these micro condos, again, are almost all favorable. These aren't marketed to a guy like me. These are designed for a millennial, someone in their 20s, young guy, young gal. that works at Nordstrom's or works at a marketing firm downtown or a law office so they can walk to work. They don't have a car. They're never in their units anyways. They're out all the time. They're at work. They're going out for drinks with their friend. They're out at clubs or concerts or sporting events on the weekends. And even when they are in the units, the reviews on these micro units are incredible. They're nice little cozy places. I tell you, would have no problem as a young guy living in one of these for many, many years. I don't think I'd want to live in them for 7 or 8 years or more, but that's not what they're designed for. You know, the other thing was, and I've heard this before, lenders are reluctant to lend on these small units, let alone micro units. A lot of lenders will not lend on anything under 500 square feet. I know that from experience with selling studio condos. There are some lenders, if it's less than 500 square feet, studio won't lend. There's some that cut that threshold down at 400 square feet. But it went on to say that there are lenders, because there's some of these in Toronto now, that are 300 square feet to 325 square feet. Sorry, there were just under 300 square feet that were selling for $325K and sold out. And lenders will lend. It all depends on the buyer and the circumstance. But there are lenders that will lend. But you know, their thing was, you know, lenders are worried that if you take ownership and the condo owner runs into some financial difficulties, has to default on their mortgage. Well, defaults are almost zero in Canada. Even when we've been in recessions, you know, people going into arrears and default in Canada right now are like a fraction of 1%. They're worried that these smaller properties could be less attractive to prospective buyers. That's totally wrong. As a realtor, I can tell you right now, if you if you gave me a listing on a 275 square foot condo that we list at 275 or 299, I'm going to get into multiple offers on that. I can tell you if the Reliance was able to put this project together, they would have sold these out in the first weekend. If they put this project out now or next year, they'll sell all these units out immediately. I'll buy one. I talked about it last time. I'll pick up 1 or 2 and I'll probably have 5 or 6 investor clients I'll get in. Because these are perfect for investors. You buy these for $300K, you're going to rent them for $2,000, $1,900 a month. You'll have tenants lining up for these units. Again, the demographic for this is going to be young people in their 20s looking to get a foothold in downtown. They work downtown, they're going to walk to work. And this is going to be in the sweet spot for rent. It's going to be probably $1,700, $1,800, $1,900 a month. And again, have a look at these units. Go online and take a look. The New York Times did a really cool story on these a couple years ago. You could probably look it up on Google. These are slick little units that these young professionals on Wall Street are buying, and or investors are buying them. They're renting them to these guys. And they're perfect for them. It's an entry-level price point, and they can still live in Manhattan and walk to work or take the subway to work. It would be the exact same thing here in Vancouver. This is what we should be promoting here. Here we are in a city that everyone's complaining endlessly. They're taxing, the NDP in the city is taxing everyone to death here with real estate, trying to make prices affordable. This is slapping you right in the face here. Micro units. They're cozy little unit, no wasted space. Have a look at the designs of these. I think people don't realize how efficient these are and how in demand they would be for someone. As an investor, I'll buy them. And I can tell you I'll have no problem renting these. If I was to sell these down the road, list these, I'll be getting multiple offers on these all day because they're in that sweet spot. Price point and what you can rent them for. It's a foothold for a lot of these young people to get in the market either as a buyer or if you're an investor, you'll have no problem renting these. City of Vancouver needs to wake up on this. Every other city, London, Los Angeles, New York, Toronto, I hear is bringing these in. The lenders are going to come around to this. There are lenders that will lend on these micro units, and more of them probably will once they see the product and see when they sell a 300 unit building out in two days, because that's what would happen with these. We should be pushing these. If you guys aren't familiar with them, go onto Google, take a little look. There's a story on this one at 902 Drake. You can have a look at some of the building and the renderings. It's canceled now. that corner now is going to be condos. Reliant is building I think 160 unit strata on there. They should have built micro units. It would have been a big hit. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.